I know what you're thinking. Sarah, if you're a Broncos fan, why are you wearing a Colts jersey? Because Manning. And also, I'm from Indiana, so 2-1. Got the 2-1 going on. Plus it's Sunday. That's why I'm wearing this jersey. Hey guys, it's Sarah. Today I'm going to do something a little weird. I don't know if it's weird, but I'm going to be reviewing the first book in the Sweep series, review and discussion of Book of Shadows by Kate Turner. The reason why I'm doing it like this, like instead of reviewing the whole book, is because number one, I've read this series before and everything has already merged together in my mind. And number two, I would like to have reviews of each book so that way when I can go back and watch them, you know, that way I have documentation of it. And I might just do each review in the book and put it all in one video, so you might not see this until way later, or you might see this sooner. I don't know yet. We'll see how good this goes, how long the video is. Who knows? But I want to get this review done because I just finished book 1 last night and I'm on book 2 and I don't want things to merge together. Yes, that's what we're doing today. The discussion part of this video, I didn't write anything down and I'm going to be discussing just Book of Shadows. I'm going to try not to do any other spoilers for any other things that happen in the book. So it's more of like a book talk instead of a book discussion. I'm not going to have like certain points. I'm just going to like talk to the camera. So I hope you guys enjoyed and let's get on with the review. It's about this series, if you don't know what it's about Morgan, and she is going to school. She's in 10th grade and a new kid arrives at her school and he practices Wicca, which yes is a form of witch. And he gets all these random people together that really wouldn't normally hang out together and have them to a party and asked people if they wanted to stay and participate in a circle, which is a sauna, circle, you know, witch thing. And 10 people stayed and they form this group of kids wanting to practice Wicca or be more informed about Wicca. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's it. It's really good, and the first book, I will admit, is not the best book out of the series. And since I've read the whole series, I can't tell you a specific number of books that you need to get through before the series picks up, but rereading it I can see why there's a lot of problems going on. And it's dated. I mean, it was written probably in the 90s, it was published in 2001, so it's a little bit dated. But it's a good story nonetheless. I still love it. Still, this series is still so amazing to me. I just love it so much. I love Kate's style of writing. She does that really good thing of showing you instead of telling you. And it's hard to explain, but Morgan will be in a circle and she'll see Cal doing something to everyone else in the circle, but she'll see them and author will tell us what he's doing, but when it gets to her and he starts to do it to her, she shows us and like lets us feel what he's doing to her, which I just really enjoyed. It makes me so engrossed in the story. It makes me feel like I'm Morgan, which can be a problem because a lot goes down with Morgan. I'm going to give the bind up 5 out of 5 because I already know what the stories is going to be like, but I give this story probably, let's do a 4. We're going to do a 4. This book, the first book, is always the hardest because you're just getting into the world and learning about the characters, so it's always the hardest one, but it gets better, I promise. That is the review section. I recommend you check this out, and if you want to read along with me, or no, I'm just joking, wondering about checking it out, I promise you that it gets better. I know when I first read the books, the first 3 I think were my least favorite, so I think it was the first 3. It might have been like the first 4, but those were my least favorite and I still really enjoyed them. So I recommend you check them out, and they're great for fall, and yeah, I'm going to continue with these right away. Alright guys, if you're leaving us for the talk section, why can't I talk today? It was weird. If you're leaving us for the talk section, then thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you pick up the book and come back. Review time. I mean, that was review time. What the heck? Talk time. Discussion time. Whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about book 1. Now, like I said in the review part, I know this book gets better. I know there are so many amazing things that happens in the story. There are so many cliffhangers and so many twists and turns that I promise you, it's going to be so amazing. With book 1, I can see where number 1, I can see where the characters are a little naive or vapid. I see where they kind of have this, oh, love at first sight thing, namely with Cal. And yes, I know Cal is too good to be true. Trust me, I know. The way that the author writes Morgan and Bree and how they fall in love so quickly with some stranger, and how all the girls are just in love with Cal and they like actually truly have feelings for him, is kind of annoying. I understand. And I understand too that this book is probably geared towards a younger audience, but at the same time, it's hard for me to say, oh yeah, this book is for, you know, 14-year-olds, because I know what happens in the series and it gets so much better. I don't know, my memory, stupid thing. The way Morgan was a little unsure of herself, and the way she just was very naive and kind of just I think she was just very negative towards herself. And that kind of bothered me in the story. Things that I enjoyed, I loved the fall aspect, obviously. I loved the witch aspect. I loved learning, huge glove of spit. I loved learning about Wicca along with her, because I find it very interesting. Not that I would ever do it myself, but I think it's really cool to learn about. Oh, just so many good things come up. I can just see it in my head, and every time it's hard for me to read the first book, because like this is gonna probably be the hardest bind up that I read out of all 5 of them, just because it's just, I know so much is gonna happen and so many good things happen. And the first 3, there's some characters in there that I don't enjoy, and I don't want them in the book anymore. I want them out. Kick them to the curb. I just kicked my leg, but you couldn't see that. I'm gonna continue with book 2. I was thinking about reading book 1, then reading another TBR, then reading book 2, and then reading another TBR. But since book 2 like starts right where book 1 left off. Since book 2 starts right where book 1 left off, I think I'm just going to read book 2 and then I'll pause at book 3 and read my TBR. Okay, let's talk about my favorite part. I think I'm going to make that a thing. I'm going to talk about my favorite part in the book. Books that I review and discuss. My favorite part would either have to be... Why is my bookmark falling apart? God. Oh my god, I'm doing it. I'm going to pull it. God. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't stop. The bookmark is falling apart. Okay. Well, that's a sad bookmark now. 3 little strings. 1 string. Oh, cheese. Cheese and rice. Okay. My favorite chapter in the book was probably, let me check. I know what chapter it is. My favorite chapter is the beginning of my favorite part of this book was either the ending or the beginning of chapter 21. The reasons why is, number 1, in chapter 21 we got to meet Alice, and just Alice. Not any more than that, just we got to meet Alice. Why I like the ending was because I'm not telling you why, because it'll ruin it if you haven't read the first book. I mean, if you haven't read any of the other books. So look out for them. I'm gonna read book 2 and I will see you in that video. Alright, bye guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and comment down below. Tell me what you think, if you're wanting to read, if you're planning to read, if you've read anything. That's good. Alright, thanks for watching. This book, I'm gonna dance it out. Ba, 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 ba.